Welcome back, cousins, to the Cuzn Collective with your girl Monay.
And I'm your girl Capree.
In today's episode, we are going to be discussing relationships and our family's opinions on our partner and spouses.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm a date who I want to date, even though I ain't dating nobody. But I'm a date who I want to date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know. Okay, let me stop.
Oh, excuse me, and friends.
Oh, well, okay.
Spouses, partners, friends.
Okay. So, I think as long as it doesn't come from a place of jealousy, it's fine.
Right.
Or hateration, if you will, which is fine.
Right.
Or just a place of negativity. Because some people, okay, let's take parents, for instance. Some parents don't like the friend because that friend and their child are bonding, mm-hmm. and may feel threatened by that friendship. How do I know? I'll tell you, because I've experienced that. Mm-hmm. I've experienced that in the past with one of my friends. Her mom was so used to her needing her that when I came along, we became real tight. It kind of like, not saying I was trying to get her in a relationship, because I really had nothing to do with the relationship, but she started resenting me.
Yeah. And
so there's no telling, in those type of situations, what the parent will say, that ain't your friend.
Because XYZ, whatever.
But it's not a real reason. Like I didn't do anything to you or her.
Yeah.
That's your own, that's a you problem, right? As far as families, perception of your partners or your spouses, again, if it's not coming from a true place of caring, it's because some people just don't want to see you happy.
Yeah. Now,
granted, there are, on the flip side, times where you do need to listen, because sometimes you do see things. I'm not even gonna say it's an age thing, because there are people who are adults. I mean, adults who have blinders on, who are in relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean all relationships, romantical and non-romantical relationships. And they have blinders on. Ask me how I know. I had a friend who was not really a good friend. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna say not really. She was not a good friend to me. Everybody knew this but me, mm-hmm. right? And I had my blinders on. I was loyal to a fault. And she was doing me dirty in these here streets. So when it finally came to someone telling me something, I respected, because a lot of times we would kill the messenger, honey. Mm-hmm. But again, if it's coming from a place of I love you, I care, this is about your well-being, your happiness, or whatever, I'm down to listen. But then at the same time, don't overstep your boundaries, because some people, and I can't stand this either, I think I've told you this, some people, whether it's family or friends, feel like they're your mouthpiece, mm-hmm. when it comes to a relationship. Mm-hmm. They feel like they have to go and be the fighter for you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, stay in your lane and respect it. Again, I'm talking about normal stuff, but not like abusive stuff, because I'm, me, look, you're getting abused.
Yeah.
I need you to open your eyes. Yeah. I'm going to fight for that. And if that means that ends our relationship, then if it means you're safe in the end, that's fine.
I mean, but I think the bottom line, though, when those friends or family or whoever is chiming in, mm-hmm. you as the receiver, like, maybe not 100% of the time, but like
Oh, that your partner ain't, or your friend
ain't really.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
but you just.
You know, I'm gonna say in my defense, I did not. I would the things that I learned about my friend. I'm like,
no, I'm saying if she was doing things behind your back that weren't done in front of you,
right? That's
one
different,
thing,
right?
But you got people who like being
they
dogged
see this stuff,
out,
they know,
and they're blind by that relationship,
and then get mad when you do
when
say
somebody
something.
points it out,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's rain. Sorry, y'all.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when. So
like,
excuse the.
Sorry for the noise, y'all.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have those people who would just, and they'll sit in it, and then they'll sit in it. This is what gets on my nerves. They'll sit in it, but they'll complain about it.
Right.
That gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Break the cycle.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, so I just think, at times whenever you're in these relationships and people are chiming in, you just really need to ask yourself questions like, could this person be jealous?
Yeah.
Is this person miserable?
Yeah.
Is this person typically a negative person, or are they a person that is not a yes man, and to you feel like that makes them a negative person because they're not always cheering you on. Instead, they are pointing out the facts and being honest.
But then there's the other part. Say, and this is where people have to be careful of how much information you share about your relationships, whether, again, it's romantical or not. Because especially when you're sharing it with, like, say your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife, and they do whatever they do, and they were in your relationship that infuriates you, hurts you, whatever, but then you have to go and vent.
Yeah.
You have to be careful who you vent to. And I'm not saying, because people be like, no, you got to keep that stuff in. And sometimes I just feel like it just depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, some people, because they feel like they care about you and love you so much, sometimes it's not even that, but they will now hold a grudge against the person,
and
the partner.
Everything they do is wrong.
Right, and you can't get nothing right.
Yeah.
So now you have, because you opened up that avenue to share those issues, but y'all have gotten over it. You're okay because things happen in a relationship, right? But y'all are over it, but your family and your friends ain't over it.
Yeah.
And that's just like, you got to be careful of who. Like, I can sit here and honestly say that anytime any friend has ever vented to me about their significant other, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna go to that significant other. I mean, unless you being abusive or something like that. But that's between me and you, and I'm never going to. This is not I'm about to end my relationship type situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he did me wrong or she did me wrong, and now I feel like it's my duty to go and be judgmental towards this person for every time I see them. First of all, that's exhausting.
Yes.
And just turning your nose up, and they don't even know what in the world is going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to be careful of who you talk to about your relationships, because that person may end up treating your mate like crap when y'all are over it and past it. Like, they in a relationship.
So that was another one. Are they a nitpicky person? So if you're like a person that only picking out the negative stuff,
right.
So I mean, you just have to be careful. For me, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. Like, I'm on the same page as Capree. I've always been a rebellious person, so I'm gonna just do what I want to anyway. Or that's the mindset I've always had. Has it always worked out in my favor? No. I've dated in the past or had friends in the past that my parents or somebody would point out the negative, and again, I saw it though.
Right.
I chose to ignore it.
But then there are times where
of something else being.
There are times where we don't see it, but sometimes the parents can see things because you know, they just have more experience and stuff. Because I know I have personally have seen where times where I've told my sons, like, look, that's not your friend. Look, I done just told my little grandson, that ain't your friend. Little kids and that's not your friend. Because this is not how friends. But at the same time, you know, they're 4 or 5. It's a teachable moment, and it just teaches you how they should expect to be treated. You know, there's lines of respect. But at the same time, those children probably don't even know because they're not having that discussion with their parents or their, you know. But you can see, and children, you know, they're going to do what they're taught and what they see. But there are times, I'm going to say, with older children, like you can sometimes as a parent see where this is going to head because of your experience, because you are the adult and you know these things. And sometimes the children just don't see it.
Folks, I got to smack myself in the face. I got to run into this brick wall. And then be like, you know what, you was right.
And see, for me, it's like, okay, file it. Now I got to go in observation mode. And that depends on who it's coming from. Again, you got to be mindful of who gives you these types of information, because some people out here just cause chaos in your life. But
my biggest thing is just make sure that you are, like, you know, do your
due diligence.
Evaluate the situation, man. Just make sure whoever's giving you that little tidbit is not a miserable person, because trust, you know, misery loves company. And people who are miserable, you know, sometimes, and yes, family too. Some family just don't. They're close family.
They are not happy, so they can't see, and not even happy. It could be fears. People can, family too, especially family, they can project their fears onto you, and that can come off so negative, and it can suppress things, and that can be with you dealing with another person. So you just have to be mindful, and, you know, just observe, and, you know, and be honest, be open, and communicate. You know what I'm saying? The one thing about me, I'm gonna say something.
But you know, like, I was using me for an example. If me and my husband listened to the people, we wouldn't be here today.
That part.
And the people who had negativity to say, 9 times out of 10, it was not accurate, because me and my husband were both very honest people. He knew about my past, I knew about his past. You know, I mean, I was an open book, right? But then you had those people who were close come in and say whatever. And if we had listened, or he had listened, I had listened to either parties on either side, we wouldn't be here today. But the bottom line is, we knew each other better than they knew each of us. You know what I'm saying? Was he perfect? No. Was I perfect?
I mean, he is. And see, that's the other part.
It outweighed the bad, and we were young. On top of that, right? So then we grew and matured,
and that's another. I mean, it's a little bit of a switch of a conversation, but without getting too involved. When relationships, you have to romantic relationships, not even romantic, just relationships. Period. It's just like people are so judgmental of what someone did before them, like they each don't stink. Like, everyone has done some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff may be worse. Now, for me, is there certain things that you can't, I ain't gonna deal with if you've done. You know, definitely ain't dealing with no murderers. I mean, unless it was self-defense. I mean, slippery slope, whatever. But I don't want a bunch of murderers contacting me ever. I don't even want to put that in there. I don't want to put that in that atmosphere. Lord, but
she ain't throwing it out there.
No, but it's just, you know, people tend to go so hard on what somebody did in the past. Like, stop. Stop. And I have back to the conversation at hand. I have, where you said if y'all would have listened to people, you wouldn't be together. I have an ex that I found out in the last couple of years that's, you know, who knows, we could still be together. We could be married had he not listened to that friend that wronged me. Because he even though we were best friends, or at least I thought, she wasn't my best friend. I was her best friend. because she wasn't loyal to me. I was loyal to her. And then you went and made up a bunch of lies about, literally lies. Like, it was so scandalous. I was like, this is not even my energy. This is not even how I live. But then we were young.
Yeah.
And stupid.
Yeah.
But there's still people out there. FYI, y'all, there's 10 years between us. There's still people, I don't even know why I said that, but there's still people out here in my age, your age,
still playing these silly games.
Playing these stupid games. Just like, they just enjoy the drama.
Yeah.
So it just boils down to being mindful of who you vent to and their energy and who you're receiving it from. Right.
So I do have a question on this subject, though, that I would like to hear back from y'all on. It kind of goes along with this, but it's the subject of your significant other asking your father for your hand in marriage. This is so interesting to me because I'm not a traditional person. I wasn't raised traditional either. But my husband did not ask my dad for my hand in marriage.
What?
And yes, he was very bothered. And so I recently asked him, like, what really bothered you about it? You know what I'm saying? And he mentioned it being a sign of respect or a lack thereof. But mostly it was afraid of letting his little girl go, which I figured that's what that was, right? However, in my head, I'm like, I get that and I respect that, right? But what if my dad would have told him no? That's not my dad or anybody else's decision in my head decision to make, right?
I agree.
Because me and him have the relationship.
And I mean,
and what if he said no?
What if he said no? But at this point, didn't y'all already have a kid?
We did.
So it's like, bruh,
a child together.
Like, I didn't need your permission to date her, to get her pregnant. I mean, I didn't need that kind of permission. So it's just like, it goes back to before in the previous episode, we were talking about, you know, the traditions and all of that stuff and how it's handed down. I don't necessarily personally think it's disrespectful. I respect your opinion. I respect if I ever get married and my husband to be decides he wants to ask my father for my hand in marriage, that is perfectly fine. But it's not a requirement for me to marry you, because if he say no and we're fine, because they don't know what your relationship is.
Yeah, so that's my thing.
Like, and it's a selfish reason. But sometimes they don't even know that. Sometimes people just really don't know. They just on the outside looking in, and their reasoning is a selfish reason. It has nothing to do with you or your soon to be. Yeah. So it's like,
and you see it on movies all the time.
Right.
The father doesn't like the boyfriend or whatever.
And then what if he would have came back and just been scared to tell you that your dad said no, but I'm still gonna be with you, but you want to get married, and you know that y'all talked about this, and now he's stringing it along because now he's stuck in between. He don't want to let you go, but he don't want to disappoint her. Yeah. Like, bruh, the relationship is between you and you, not you and you. And now, again, I respect that.
I do. That's where I'm torn, right? So I do believe like it was ultimately it's mine and his decision, or was. But I also value my dad's opinion a lot.
But if he would have told you no, would you have not?
No.
Do you think
I said this at the beginning, I have a rebellious spirit, have always had one, so I probably would have been like, I probably would have still done it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I kind of, if I can remember, I kind of feel like me and my dad had the conversation after the fact, after the proposal, and no, he was not like, yeah, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? It literally was not until after the wedding ceremony that my dad called me and him on the phone on our way leaving the church and over the reception. And that moment is when he verbally, literally gave his blessing. And at that point, I'm not even joking. Like, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. Like, okay, now my daddy approves.
Yeah, so, I mean, I get the importance. I did it anyway, but I get the importance also. That also kind of makes you feel like, like you say, it's not so much asking, in my opinion, I'm gonna say
not asking for permission,
but it's acceptance into the family.
Yes.
But at the same time, again, people have their own selfish reasons as to why their own selfish reasons as to why, and they may not have any concrete reason. Like I have taken care of my duties to your daughter. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I've been faithful. I've been loyal. I've been honest. Blah blah blah. And you mean to tell me
they still be saying
you said no?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to know how y'all feel about that.
How do y'all feel about it?
Because I asked my husband the other day.
I don't got one.
Would you be upset if the girl's boyfriend did not ask you for their hand in marriage first, and he had the nerve to say yes? And I'm like, but you ain't do it.
Like,
and he said it's because it's traditional, and I really believe that that's what that is. Like, it has been taught that solidifies the situation, right? But if you're not traditional, like we're not traditional people whatsoever, why would you be bothered? You know what I'm saying? Then when I actually broke it down to him like that, and I was like, but is it really your choice to make for them? And he looked at it differently. He was like, you got a point. And it really is about the same thing as my dad. My little girl
I get that, right?
That part, totally understand.
But it's like reality. She been gone. She been gone. This is just, and this is like, this is just the next phase of this relationship. So it's like, like if I hope that if anyone has ever been in this situation and they know that they have been that person, I'm not gonna say the perfect person, but they've done right in that relationship. They have a healthy relationship, a normal healthy relationship, because I know there's ups and downs and stuff, but that you guys both deserve to get married to each other, and this is something that you definitely want to do, and you as the man went to ask the father and he said no. I want to know
how that made you feel,
and I also want to know, did you ask why? Was that a follow-up question? Because I want to know. And if you don't, I want to encourage you to do that. Like,
wow,
I would be devastated if, because 9 times out of 10, I ain't trying to put our business out there as women, but 9 times out of 10, we kind of know when it's in the vicinity that it's going to happen soon. I say that like I've ever really experienced that, but I watch a lot of TV. Anyway, I watch a lot of TikToks. But no, I've had conversations with people in the past or whatever, and it's just in a relationship, you kind of, sometimes men can be predictable about things, and that is like one of the biggest decisions for them to make in life, is to determine if this is a woman that they want to ask the man. That's a scary moment for them. But I want to know. I want to encourage you to just not let it stop there. Like, find out. Like, what is it? Because if he would have asked him and he would have said no, I wonder if he just would have walked away. Or would he have asked questions like,
I think he would have probably been afraid to ask questions.
Like, what you
my
mean?
Dad was like, he's a big teddy bear, but
but
people are afraid of him.
He was so cool.
But he probably would have been scared to ask him why. But given the history of mine and his relationship from when we were in high school to when we became adults, I don't think he would have gave up on us. But I don't know what he would have done, because I can't see him doing either of the two things. Not then. Maybe now, but not then.
Or maybe not in that moment. Maybe going to marinate on it and then coming back and revisiting and having a discussion. He might have went to
my Nana and be like, Nana, why I missed the dirt?
Right. Like, cause for real.
But
shout out to Nana. We love Nana.
Yes.
Shout out to Nana. She a real one. That's how they say it in the streets.
She probably would have helped him out. She probably would have went to my dad on his back.
Now you stay out them babies' business. You let them babies get married.
But I do respect the letting your daughter go thing. I'm not a father, so I will never know what that feels like, but I get it.
I mean, that's kind of like, it's not marriage, but it's kind of like having an empty nest thing,
Yeah.
like what I went through. It's something. It is an emotion. It is deep, like.
Because you're no longer the number one man for her. It's
Right.
him. Even when you're dating, you're still not you are still her number one, right? Technically. And once you get married, they literally are handing you over.
Right.
So I can't imagine what that feels like.
Right.
You know?
Right. But yeah. So yeah, definitely guys, like, we want to hear from you on this. Like, 2 parts. Has this ever happened to you? Right? That's the first question.
The first question was, do you agree with it?
Do you agree with, so 3 parts.
Do you agree with?
Do you
having to
agree
ask
with,
the father?
having to ask the father for the hand in marriage? Has this ever happened to you? And 3, if this has happened to you, we want to hear, like, what was the follow-up? Did you go through with the marriage? Did you?
If the father said no.
If the father said no. If he said no, did you go through with the marriage anyway? Or, like, what did you do? Did you ask why? Did you break up? Like,
what happened?
because there are some families out there, and I mean, not just in America, but like they have super control over their children and their lives of their children. So that's gotta be devastating.
Yeah, and the bar is set pretty high.
I'm gonna get married anyway, and if it's tragic, it's just gonna be my because who's to say that's not the path I'm supposed to go down?
Yeah. To
learn to be a better person in the future.
Yeah.
No, I don't want him wasting my time 2021 and beyond. But if it's unforeseen and that's the path that I had to take, then that's just the path that I had to take, because apparently I'm supposed to be doing it for somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely drop those comments in the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. And also, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, please.
And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend.
Tell a friend
about the Cuzn Collective.
All right, and we'll see you guys later. See you.